C'est toi qui m'agace ou c'est moi qui se laisse faire? Tu me défies, je réponds. Tu m'intrigues et j'y pense. Tu m'invites et j'accepte. Puis je découvre. Je ne savais pas.
There's such a strange love-hate that people have coming back, and they're so sick of the rebuilding process, and it's so much easier, cheaper to tear down and build something new that is not as enduring.
There was open disdain for everything about the city of New Orleans. It was taken for granted that everything about the old New Orleans should be erased and replaced with something shiny and new.
The blue on the street, loose and complete under skies so smoky blue-green. I can't foresee a Dixie did she, so it danced the sidewalk clean. My memory is muddy, what's this river that I'm in? New Orleans is sinking, man, and I don't want to swim.
Kinds of issues that we faced overnight, every region has faced or will face, and how they reclaim their power in that city region will depend on how well they can hold. They know what's valuable to them. And the best thing about New Orleans is every single person here made a decision to come back.
This area here used to be a very prominent strip mall. We had a Chase Bank, which has since closed since Katrina. This area over here was a Rite Aid, and we also had a PJ's Coffee House. It helped to support the life in this community. It was a very self-sustained community.
So PJ's was a chain?
Yes.
Rite Aid was a chain?
Yes, PJ's was a franchise. And
how does that make you feel that they didn't come back?
It's kind of upsetting, because I would come to this PJ's, have coffee, maybe sit down and do a little reading or studying back when I was in college. It just seems like life here it's like it's been given up on by state government, large retail chains.
What's going to bring life back to your community?
I think the community members are going to have to get involved.
We're looking out at Gentilly, which is a real kind of bedrock kind of community. It was working class and lower middle class, post-World War II, but it is struggling. I mean, as you look out, there's still trailers. There are very few of these houses, lots of trailers down there. Very few of these houses are occupied, gutted, some that have been completely just sort of left.
You cannot shop in Gentilly. You can't buy an entire outfit from shoes to hat to coat you just can't do it in Gentilly. I mean, we get dollar stores. If you can find it at a dollar store, you can get it, but if you can't find it, and I love the dollar store, don't get me wrong, I really do, but if you can't get it at a dollar store, you won't get it in Gentilly. And we have universities here, but for some reason there's a disconnect in terms of what we get and what we deserve.
People need to start getting organized and raising hell about it and making it a political embarrassment that the city can be considering giving away a couple of $1 million to a major corporation like Home Depot when there are such basic needs that are not being met.
What is your kind of like top priority? If you had to pick one store to open here at Mr. Joe's site first, what would be it?
First thing he mentioned is a grocery store. Her first priority is a gas station, then a bank, then a coffee shop. Some fun stuff might be an upscale shop for stationery or gift shop and maybe an ice cream shop.
Yeah. Well, we had a beautiful dress shop here before.
Yes, we did.
We had a beautiful dress shop here before.
A credit union or bank, post office, shoe store, appliance store, grocery store, cell phone store, clinic, doctor, urgent care, a drugstore, a pharmacy, a craft shop.
It's just a perception that we're not back.
There you go.
We're just not screaming loud and blue.
Right,
We're back.
right,
We're back.
Right. Like she said, we're not making enough noise that we
We're not
want.
screaming enough that we're back.
Yeah.
What percentage of the population are you right now compared to pre-Katrina?
You had that.
About 50.
This house is occupied, that one, this one, and every house past that is not. So if you do the math, it's about 50% of the houses on this one little block. If nothing comes back or it comes back in a way that's not befitting of a person's lifestyle, they're not gonna come back.
We haven't even reached our pre-Katrina levels, right? We're still at least 100 to 150,000 people away from pre-Katrina levels. There's still a lot of people who haven't come home, and we still need a lot of help in order to make sure that we get them home.
You say, neighbor, please come home. Because we got the loans and things like that for them, and if they don't want to come home, put a for sale sign up.
The parts of the city that flooded were the parts of the city that developers and the government built and told us were safe. Put us in there and then said, well, why are you there? New Orleanians knew what was high ground. They figured it out. They stayed in high ground until the 20th century, until the government came in and started telling them it was safe to live in lower lying areas and said, these levees will protect you. They'll protect you. Never again will New Orleanians believe anything without investigating it first.
I think that in the age of disaster capitalism, rubble is the terra nullius, the open land. I was there 10 days after the levees broke. But in the first week, we were hearing from top developers in New Orleans saying, this city won't be rebuilt the way it was before, and it's a clean sheet. This phrase kept coming up again and again, clean sheet, as if this horrible disaster had created just this sort of a canvas on which corporate America could draw its most beautiful picture. That could be Disneyland. It could be sort of X-rated Disneyland is what people were saying. That would be the future of New Orleans.